Hi there, people.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, so welcome to our question and answer page. So if you're watching this on another channel or another page that is not the question and answer channel, please go subscribe to the question and answer channel, because we shoot intentionally for that channel. We just answer questions in short form so that you can easily just get our view and on many of these small topics.
And hopefully we both agree on them.
Yeah, we can have different perspectives. So small issues that can cause big problems.
Right.
Yeah, but we don't always have to agree on everything. Like the issue of does physical attraction matter? We didn't agree like that.
But we didn't totally disagree.
Yeah,
I mean, there are things that it's not that deep, but I think that you should give it time. If it doesn't work as friends, if you don't like the person still, forget it. Because part of what should be happening is that you should actually be resisting the temptation.
Yeah. Not that you are.
Yeah, it's not that we are praying to because it's a long journey. That's what I think. But not that should be your first point. I've never been. It's my first.
Yeah.
I need to know whether there are other things attached. So that's the difference. So it's not like you don't totally agree, but I think
if you want to know our view on that, if physical attraction matters, please go watch the video. I think it's titled "Does Physical Attraction Really Matter?"
Yeah.
So go watch it on our normal pages. So today, the question I want to deal with is, does a wife have to take her husband's name when they get married?
All people take my view is vote before I say it. What do you think my view is? I've heard that question come up a lot now.
Yeah, so we're in the modern feminism era.
Yeah,
so now women are fighting and everything they can fight.
And sometimes it seems to make sense to them until you really analyze it.
Yes.
When they say things like, "Oh, but I've already taken time to build my name. I already have a brand, and I want my brand is my name and things like that. So why would I change my name and all of that?" But I think that there are more deeper issues than that. Sometimes it's just a personal thing. They just want to keep their name. I like the sound of my name. Like my surname. How can I move from this surname to this surname? I know that's funny. No.
Yes.
When we're getting married, I had
those issues.
Small issues. I wanted, so let me say what my own issues are, then we can now answer the question. So when we're getting married, my own issues were, first of all, I liked my father's name because I felt it was very different. It wasn't common. If you hear a Chijide, we are all like, Chijide was my maiden name. We're all related. It wasn't a name that I've never heard it outside of our own family space. And then I was moving from Chijide, a unique name that every time I say my surname, people ask, what does that mean? To Okonkwo. Ogongo, a name that things fall apart. That's why I remember. Well, you know what cured me was my mom.
Okay.
Oh, you know that. Maybe you forgot. Sure. Oh, so my mom, I said this to my mom that when I moved from Chijide to Okonkwo, she said that you better thank God there's no Okonkwo. I'm like, what? Mommy, what? Said at least Okonkwo is a name. No. So she was saying Okonkwo is a name that you are used to. Like it's a name that it's a name that like Okonkwo. There's nothing wrong with Okonkwo. She was just saying that it's longer. You are complaining about Okonkwo. What is Okonkwo would have been longer. And if you had fallen in love with somebody, what would you have done? Yeah. So no, we're not saying there's anything wrong with Okonkwo, but that was it. Then the second issue I had was I wanted a compound name.
Yes.
Remember, I wanted my name. So I wanted to have my father's name and your surname. My maiden name and your surname. Also, I wanted to be Chijide Okonkwo. And you were like, no. Why would you do that? Are you not supposed to forsake father and mother? And I was like, but I don't want my father's name to be forgotten. I felt like my father had invested so much. So just like that, the name would just go. Like Mildred Chijide would no longer exist. I see that ultimately is even what's supposed to happen. But at the time it sounded ludicrous, like Mildred Chijide would just disappear. And I'll be Mildred Okonkwo. Who is that? Mildred Chijide has done everything. She's been with me all my life. I get to 26 and you say, that's it. Bye. No. It was a hard sell. So we came to a compromise. But then I went back to scripture.
Yeah.
To find out what does God really say about this. So at least I prayed about it, and I got a revelation when I was reading about Abraham and God getting into covenant. Yes, and both of them getting into covenant. And God was saying to him, I will make you great, I'll make your name great, and all things like that. Truly, you will families of the earth be blessed. And after God had said all those things to him, then there came a challenge where Lot was kidnapped and all of that. And so he had to go and rescue him. And after he had rescued him, he was going home, and then Melchizedek appeared to him and stopped him on the way. And Melchizedek, greeted him, Abraham of the Most High God, and it just hits me. Like I said, all this while, you name Abraham, nobody even called his son. All of a sudden, because he's in covenant with God, Melchizedek is saying, I recognize who's backing you. I recognize who you're with. So every time you come, even if it's you and that person are present. So it was like, God just said to me, see, Abraham has taken on my surname. Oh my, that was something. Yes. And made me understand covenant. Yes. So I said, oh, so that's it. So that's why I'm going to take on his name, because that's covenant. That's proof that we're one now. And then I spoke about the fact that I wanted a compound name, and you said, that's still possible. I said, okay, so I can take on your full name. You're okay with me being Kingsley Okonkwo? And you're like, absolutely. In fact, take the full Kingsley Okonkwo, Chikuka, anything you want. Just leave father and mother and cleave. Let's be one. And so I think that if you look at it from that perspective, that it's covenant number one, I think that would be a good place to start for me. That's what really made me realize that it goes beyond just changing surname. It's a covenant act.
Yeah. So again, most people don't know that most things actually have some reference or influence in scripture. If you look at it, if you understand how to study it, marriage is a covenant. So again, if you miss out on some of these details, then it becomes your opinion versus my opinion. And I don't even like to get into this kind of opinion argument, because if there are 100 people who have 100 different valid opinions, that's opinion. But if you always go back to the creator of marriage, he has answered a lot of things. If you understand marriage is a covenant, he said the two shall become one flesh. That phrase, one flesh, means one person. It's not talking about flesh as in flesh. It's person. It's saying two of you shall become one person. And if you understand that, 99% of the questions you want to ask about marriage really are answered. If you understand that we are one person, so the issue shouldn't arise if we have to have the same name. All right, it's a given. We are now one person. One person cannot have two identities. It's one. Now, somebody can say, so, but why is it the man's name? Why is it not the woman's name? The reason it's the man's name is because the way a covenant works, there's a covenant initiator. Somebody has to initiate the covenant. So a man is usually the one that came first. The Bible is clear about this, that the man came first and all that. So that's part of why also he is regarded as the first in order. All right, when they say the man is the head, it doesn't mean he's a superior being, but in the order of things, he's first. So he has the first right of choice in this case to say, I want to start a family with you. All right, so the woman is one joining his family, in quotes, to start together. So he's the one that usually will have the name that she joins. So it's biblical that two are one person. Okay, even though now the Bible didn't start specifying that your shoe is one, your cloth is one. It doesn't have to do that. If you understand covenant, you know that the rest, like when they said you leave your father and mother and cleave to your wife, they didn't start saying leave your cousin, no. Once they said father and mother, you know what they're saying. It includes friends, include ex, include everything else, because your father and mother were the primary people, the first people you met when you came there, your primary care. So you must understand how to interpret scripture like that. So number one, you have one identity, you are one person. So you say covenant is one. Number two, if you start to have two identities, then you start to separate the people. Because some people say, okay, I want to keep my own name. Now, if your name as a woman is a brand already, as in the name, it's a brand name. You can keep the brand name, but in terms of documents and legal stuff or whatever, this is your last name now. All right. So in case people like Kate Spade or whatever, maybe you have a brand, that's the business. That's different. But and you can supposed to change that, by the way. But if you don't want to go through the hassle,
I don't see the point.
Yeah, you don't want to go through the hassle of changing that. I don't see the point as well. Because that's a business. That's kind of a different entity. But in terms of your documents, because by the time you guys start traveling, then the passport will show he's over there. What with the kids there? Before you know it, more and more division will start to be exhibited.
But my children are still being Okonkwo, not Kingsley Okonkwo. So
Yeah,
I'm still on the outside.
Yeah, but
So
Okonkwo,
this one not really. I don't really agree for this one.
but the Okonkwo is so we should be careful about the spirit of division. It's trying to permeate marriage.
Yes.
So people are trying to divide. What can we divide? What can we divide? Because we're going to do a question after this on joint account or not. We're going to do a question for this on that. We are trying to divide. No, we are one. Anything just seeking to separate you, it's not of God. So you need to realize it's anti-covenant. Anything that is seeking to separate you. Anything in marriage should be seeking to make both of you. In fact, like when we say when we teach, when you come to the altar, Mudachi dies, Kingsley Okonkwo dies, kindred actually now is the new being that has been raised. So it's one identity, one person. All right. So that's our own view. You can tell us your view, what do you think? But remember, anything trying to separate the two of you, it's against the covenant of God. It's one person, one flesh. All right.
Okay.
All right. See you in the next. Don't forget to subscribe to this Q&A channel and share this to somebody that might need to see it. And all right. See you in the next video.